Task 3, St. Andre, British Open 2007. We had a reasonable start. The entire gaggle seemed to be in the same place at the same time, which was in the middle of the valley on, I forget the name of the ridge, heading for B30, which was the first turn point. Pretty much the whole way from start to B30 and then all the way down to B20. There was a fair-sized gaggle, lead gaggle of probably 10-15 pilots. There wasn't much in it. We were all sort of looking for position. My impression has been this whole week that the top Brit pilots have been fairly conservative, not in a particularly racy frame of mind, possibly with the exception of Mark Watts, who didn't seem to mind so much, and Russell also seems to be going quite quick. So it wasn't that difficult to stay on the pace. I'd say it was pretty equal all the way down till B20, where Russell and I were slightly left of the course line, in the holes there on the way a few kilometers from the turn point. Got quite a strong climb out there, and then the cloud street started forming in an arc sort of to the left of and toward the turn point. That would be east of the cliffs that head down to B20. And then the main part of that lead gaggle dived onto the cliffs and raced for the turn point. And I think that was the crux move. I stayed and did a few more turns slightly left of their line, connected to the cloud street, and took that turn point at cloud base, with Russell probably a few minutes behind, a couple of hundred meters below. So that sort of made the difference in that part of the race, at that stage of the race. So from B20 across back to launch here and to the towers, I could pretty much go half bar as fast as I felt comfortable doing, expecting to get back to launch and get the 8 up that everybody promised me I'd have, and then it would have been a doddle to 33 and then around to 70, but that wasn't the case. I ended up probably 4, 5, 6 minutes ahead of Russell at the towers, and we weren't really, well, I wasn't getting up. I was a few hundred meters above the towers, but it didn't feel to be working, and looking over the back towards B33 seemed a little bit daunting in the sense that I wasn't sure what the route was, because I hadn't really been paying attention to the second half of the race when people were giving their opinions before we started. So I opted to wait. So I sat there for about 5-10 minutes till 5-6 guys joined us, and then we dived over the back. Mark got away from us. He got the 5 up, and he was 100 or 2 meters above us. That would be that gaggle of 5. And then we took B33, what I thought was really conservatively. The guys weren't pushing at all. They just dawdled on over, looking for the safe line. We took 33 and then went on to the big white ridge, a little bit east of that. And once again, Mark got the climb. I went sniffing around thinking there was something better, and there wasn't. In the end, Mark took that climb probably as high as it went, came back in an arc towards launch again in order to get onto the B70 ridge further along and out of the valley breeze, whereas I just cut the corner and went straight across. Got a bit of a climb in the middle, and ended up soaring those cliffs into a bit of a headwind. For about 5 minutes it was uncomfortable, got around the corner. By then Mark was a good kilometre ahead, and as you all know, as you get onto that side, that run down to B70, it's very, very thermic, strong climbs. You actually have to pick a line where you can apply some speed bar, otherwise you spend the whole time managing the surges from the big boost to get up that. So he turned first, and then it just looked like his line was too much above the ridge because he couldn't come onto bar, and he also said he'd fiddled on his speed system, and I saw him get a huge blowout, and then I think he more stood still for a while. But yeah, it was Mark. I thought Mark did all the work. He deserved the win, but he just picked the last move. He picked the wrong line. and I sort of took a tiger line from that turn point glide of about 6. I took a glide of 6 with a headwind of about 15 kilometers an hour. I had a lot of pressure from the Frenchman on the Nivuk. Jan, I believe is his name. Pushed full bar. The Mac's really stable in turbulence. Gave it full bar off trims for those last 5 kilometers, and that was it. But I did think I was lucky in the sense that the day belonged to Mark. He did all the hard work.